Alright, let's go see what we have for seeds and get this indoor garden going. Alright, now nobody judge my seed mess here. I've got this caddy many years ago, and I like to store the seeds just in a regular Ziploc bag, that way they don't fall out and go everywhere, you know. Alright, I think I've got a plan, so take a look at this. Alright, I've got cilantro here, cumin, sage, and then I've got some onion seed here. We're going to try and see if we can get some sets. Some Roma tomatoes, and then I'm a little torn. I've got some Tabasco peppers here, or I've got some sweet peppers. Okay, now that we've got the seeds picked out, we are upstairs at the indoor garden. Now this soil is a little bit on the old side. I used it in the spring, however, briefly. It was brief. But as you can maybe tell, the soil is very, very dried out. So first thing we're gonna do is just add a little bit of water. Next, we just get dirty. This one needs just a little bit more water. Now it's nice and kind of dark. The problem with soil when it gets all dried out like that is it becomes hydrophobic. So instead of absorbing the water and watering your plants, it just sits on top of the surface and drains down this side of the container. So now that we've got the soil kind of nice and hydrated, we're going to take our little cups here, and I like these things because they're made out of silicone and a good hard plastic, so they're good to be reused year after year. We've got one for each pepper and one for the onions. Alright, first one is Roma tomatoes. Just gonna make a very shallow hole there in the center of our cup, and I'm gonna go ahead and put 2 seeds down just to be on the safe side. Right, next up is our sweet peppers. Again, just make a nice little hole in the center of the cup. Now lastly is the onions, and we're gonna plant these just a little bit differently than the other ones. So onion seeds don't really have to be covered much. You kind of just spread them out over the surface of the soil and lightly, very lightly, just press them down. Now I dumped out quite a bit of onion seeds in my hand, and we're gonna plant these pretty thick, but that's okay because onions don't mind being moved all too much. So when they sprout, we can just take them out of the cup and separate them a little bit and stick them in one of these trays here. Now I am going to sprinkle just a teeny bit of soil on top of them, and we'll very lightly press them down. Alright, last but not least, we have to water these girls in. You've got to be very, very careful not to disturb the soil too much. And we'll just water lightly just until we get some coming out of the bottom there. Alright, and that's all there is to it. The final piece to our puzzle is just to get these guys under the grow light. Alright, and they should be good for a couple of days. That's all for this video, guys. If you got anything out of it at all, go ahead and like, comment, and if you would, consider subscribing.